together. Great to see all of us back on social media, Facebook Live and YouTube. Folks, let's hop right into it, not just because of my impending tech issues, but Wendy does say good volume. That's great to hear. I did get a new headset a couple days ago, so that eliminated one of my tech issues at least. But fingers crossed, we're good to go here. The VERU trade at least is up over 11% heading into the market open right now. It was dropping off after 8 o'clock. We had this on our pre-market list, one of 4 stocks on the pre-market watch list that we had. And hey, it was actually a pretty decent one for that matter. It took VERU at least a little while to get going, but between the USEA trade, the FFIE stock, I know TYDE popped and then dropped, but VERU here ended up making a pretty nice slingshot, right? I thought it was going to make the slingshot actually before it ended up crashing down to 14. So we ended up seeing some big volume on the bid on this trade just a moment ago prior to 8:30, and that was at 1423, 1425, 1420, like a stack, and it broke through it. But at first, before it really broke lower, it had a tough time, and I was calling out right there like, if it's not going to break any lower there, like, well, maybe it slings back above it and runs. Well, it did break lower, but then we got the push back up. So Norman had called it out, saying, "Oh, it popped without me." Listen, this thing ended up making a really nice move off of 14, but we know how fast this stock can move just based off of, and not just yesterday, but look at the daily chart. We've been all over the stock over the last year and a half. So, not every day are we trading this, but off of specific news or earnings or whatnot. We have great experience with this trade. Myself, Norman, Wendy, a lot of our longtime members here, at least members that have been with us over the last year and a half. So with that in mind, VERU will definitely put back on our watch list to begin. Hey, if anyone's in on this trade right now, I would definitely be a little wary of a pullback going into the open, or at least just consolidation, lack of momentum at least. But perhaps afterwards we could see it. Just, you want to reset yourself at the opening bell. We never really look to carry trades into the market open. Never really the smartest idea, because there's too much chaos and unpredictability. Like, what if you're up 50 cents on a trade, which might be a lot for you, and right at the opening bell the thing freaking tanks? So you don't want to get stuck wasting a big profit that you're already up. That's what I'm alluding to there. So you could always get back in. It gives you the chance to like take the edge off, gives yourself a chance to breathe, relax, and see what happens after the market opens. So right now, definitely I like this VERU stock either way, going into the open here. Now the USEA stock otherwise, geez, not every day does like a new IPO, any stock, let alone, just make this type of run up in pre-market here. We'll see stocks up 50, 70, 100% at times. And sometimes they'll make like most of that run here in pre-market. But from head to toe, this thing ended up going from 4 or 380-ish all the way up towards near 9 just now. This ended up just shaking upwards to 9 or close to. And then it just pulled back down a small amount. Listen, this thing got very choppy, at least going into 8:30. I was expecting for it to tank then. So it kept going up a little bit more, but even more on this stock than on VERU. You don't want to get stuck holding on to a losing bag, or waste the big profit that you're already up. So you should definitely look to get out here. The stock is breaking all-time highs, obviously, with it being an IPO from yesterday, so no historical data to work with. Doesn't guarantee it's going to make a move up to 20 by the afternoon, folks. So just watch your levels on this trade. But the USEG stock here too, I'll definitely just put on our list. I said USEG, USEA, my dyslexia. There's a stock USEG that we've traded in the past. There we go. Caught myself early on that. Mike says here in the chat board, GameStop, GME to split stock 4-for-1. Yeah, I saw that announcement from post market yesterday. Right, we'll get to that at the end. Actually, let me write that down just on the side. I don't know if we'll trade it, but just interesting. We'll check it out. So let's go from top to bottom here, folks, just to kind of make do with time here for right now. There's still a few cheapies here on the top of the gainers list. We'll skip over. Hey, familiar name, IINN. Ended up making a big move yesterday. We had this on our pre-market list. It's like deja vu all over again, right? This thing was like more of a dud after the market opened up, to be honest. So, we took our eyes off this after the initial run, and then it, tanked from there. Well, out of nowhere, this thing ended up making a big pop after 8:30. So, you know what? I said I was going to expedite time here. Just got Benzinga up right now, and I don't know if I'll do this in the afternoon, but I'll bring my Benzinga up in the afternoon for all of us. I'll just kind of like recite what happened here. There had to have been a pop, or there had to have been news, that came out that led to this pop. Let's take a look. All right, so IINN shares, moving higher after company signs an agreement. with Glow Med Networks to potentially provide $59 million for deployment of almost 4,000 HYLA blood sensors. So that was like similar news that came out yesterday. There was something to do with these like blood sensors that came out yesterday on the IINN trade, and it looks like they already signed a pretty big agreement, $59 million contract. So nice pop, good reaction afterwards, consolidated a little bit, and then pushed up, close to 290, 287 pre-market high so far. I think, let me just take a look. I want to just double check here. 265. 265 is the high of the day across the regular hours yesterday. So that should be a technical level to follow. Pretty interesting that the VWAP is pretty much right there right now in pre-market. So a little food for thought there. IINN definitely I'll put on our list here too. Looks good. All right, keep it moving. TYDE. Look at the daily chart here. This thing is like a joke. Like, what the hell happened here? Ended up getting halted, or something had to have happened to where it got halted back on May 19th. Didn't reopen until May 31st, and then just I don't know what the heck happens here. But this is obviously a day trade type of stock. We ended up calling this out back from the end of last week, or even from Friday of last week. And with that, it only dropped off since, but could make for a nice squeeze here this morning. It's it's up over 20% so far, but it doesn't really look like a great chart here in pre-market. So I'm much more particular about the others so far. I'm actually just going to pass on this for right now. I'm sure it can make a move after 9:30, and if any one of us calls it out afterwards, I'm sure I'll be interested to a slight level and hopefully a good level. But let's see if there's anything looking a lot better. The ANVS trade here, I mean, pop and drop. This thing had a really thin order book in pre-market right alongside, and I was going to click to it right here anyway. The 10 trade. 10 trade had some pretty thin volume, at least in the initial run up, but contrary to the ANVS, this thing holding really well going into the open. My only concern on this is that it's holding so well. Is this a buyout? Oh no, even worse. Even worse, folks. Let me just double check. I got to make sure. Might be our good friend Jim Cramer giving some thoughts on this stock. Yep. All right. So Jim Cramer this morning said he would be he said he would be careful with 10. He added, I don't have a great call on what will happen with 10. You've got to be kidding me. So pretty much what happened here, folks, is that probably the second after Cramer gave those remarks on his show, and if that was from last night, then I could be wrong on the timing. But the news came out, or the blurb came out this morning at 8:30. So if he said that much earlier this morning, that means that day traders ended up pumping it up just to spite him, because he's always wrong, right? So whether you spite him or you either just try to like hedge him strategically, paid off. I mean, hey, that's the only headline that I have out on the stock this morning, at least. That's all I got. So very interesting that Kramer flapped his gums and then ended up getting destroyed on that, right? It's up over 11% so far. That's the only news out on it. It's not a buyout. Looks like flat enough here afterwards to be a buyout, but I like it. Going into the open, we'll see what this could do. We'll see if we can pump this up even more. Shove it in Kramer's face. All right, let's see what else we got here, folks. The VERU stock, Carol said, just crashed, pulled back down, unfortunately, but pulled back into the liquidity here. I mean, that was expected, though, right? I said, hey, you don't want to get stuck holding on to a big losing bag, or waste a big profit right before the market opens up. It actually happened a lot sooner than later. I wasn't expecting this sharp of a drop, but yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens here after the open. You would love to see this really begin to push back up over 1450, hold higher lows from there, and make the eventual retest of 15 there. All right, so GameStop, there we go. 4-for-1 stock split. Ended up making a nice pop, at least in the after hours last night. And for right now, spotty pre-market chart. We're not really going to trade GameStop as much unless if the order book is really liquid, which it never really is. So, I'm going to pass on GameStop, but maybe, and just maybe, AMC could be a sympathy play. I'm not going to put this on our watch list either, but I'm just, expressing a thought there, right? Like, hey, if GameStop pops, then maybe I'll be interested in following AMC should that happen. But that's a quick thought. So, if I'm going to do that, and if I don't see AMC really correlate with GameStop right away, I'm not going to get stuck holding on to that thought. You got to move on to that pretty quickly because, they're not always going to move together, right? We've seen them move together in the meme days and all of that. The Wall Street bet stock, meme stock days. Ooh, a little move up on space here. Familiar name. Just over the years we've traded the stock. I mean, maybe even off its IPO, if I'm not mistaken, back in like 18 or 17. But right now, ended up making a nice push from the after hours last night. Just to check the news out on this one. Looks like Virgin Galactic shares surge on a partnership with Boeing subsidiary company to build new motherships. The word mothership, very interesting word to use there. All right, so with that, nice little pop up in the after hours. I like the activity, right? I'll put this on our list. I'll give it I'll give it a shake here. All right, what else we got here from the gainers side? That might just about do it. I don't really see too many other familiar names. I got Alcoa, familiar name, but little thin probably. FCX. Actually, this is a familiar name right now. Check out Freeport McRoran, I believe they're known as. Yeah, nice little move up this morning in pre-market here. I'm not going to keep checking the news, folks. I want to make do with time, but for right now, FCX also looks pretty nice. I'll put this on our watch list as well. Huge end of day print from yesterday, and then from there, I mean, a bit of a gap up early in pre, and then from there it ran up afterwards. So nice move. Then Bed Bath Beyond. That's right. I forgot about BBBY. Bobby J, right? Ended up making a nice pop in after hours yesterday, and then ended up flattening out. I mean, this morning in pre-market. Can I tell you folks a secret? I don't know why Fausto calls it Bobby J. Kind of just say that to jerk his leg a little bit there. I don't know why. One day I came back from vacation and it was just Bobby J. And just ever since. So that's my joke of the day right there with you guys. But BBBY, we always like to have these little nicknames for stocks, but that's a true story there. But BBBY, Bed Bath Beyond, nonetheless, a little flat in pre-market. It's up that 5+%. For right now, I'm not going to give this as much of a look, right? We want to focus on a trend here. Although it popped in the after hours, there's nothing else to it so far. So, we'll put this on our side list at least. All right, let's hop on over to the losers list for right now. I don't really see much that's like down really big or shortable. This one is ICPT. Ooh, nice little drop off recently, actually, from like 15 or even more, from like a little gap up early from 18 all the way down to 1350 now. I'll put this on our watch list. Pretty thin volume on the order book, so I would wait for that to fill in a lot more. But just in terms of a potential short that you could follow, I mean, I'm sure some news came out on this that led to the drop over 11%, near 12% right now in pre-market. Oh, and Norman right there. Just wrote that probably a few minutes earlier, about 4 or 5 minutes ago. He wrote that in the chat board. Just checking the chat board again right now, Norman. Appreciate that. All right, folks, that's all I got from me. Let me know if you have anything else that's up or down, that like 5% or more, that you would want to follow going into the market open here. From Patrick K, the IINN trade. I think one of our members from Cyber Group. Yeah, we had some issue inside the with our website early this morning, Patrick. If you want to try relogging in, you should be good to go now, though. Yeah, this one's already on our watch list. Looks good. Then the AREB trade. Ooh, this one's pretty nice. Nice squeeze up afterwards. I was going from top to bottom. This thing was breaking out at the time, moving on up. So, yeah, it looks pretty interesting. All right, so in total, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stocks to work with heading into the market open. That's fine by me. That's pretty decent, folks. And a nice variety here too. We got a couple of more like level 1 or level 2s. FCX won't be like too crazy. The space trade won't be too crazy, it seems, going into the open. But then, of course, we got some of the more volatile ones. Obviously, the USEA trade, the VERU, we know, is pretty volatile, and we'll see what the ICPT short could do. All right, folks. For all of us on social media, Facebook Live, YouTube, I appreciate you sticking with me each and every day, each and every morning. I gotta remind myself here, I'm not doing the afternoon meeting. If you have any questions, feel more than free to send it over to josh@c2trading.com. If you wanted to join us inside our live trading room, feel more than free to do so by going right down to the link on the blue banner below. For Nina and Michael and Carol, Norman, Bobby, not Bobby J, but Bobby O, right? We got Bobby, we got Robert Yehuda, we got Wendy, and all of us just live inside the cyber group room. I look forward to talking to you folks coming up at the opening bell. Take care.
Become a cyber group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.